Hey, Chicago Bears on Friday did something highly uncharacteristic, which is change their head coach in the middle of the season. The last time they had to ever address a coaching change in the middle of a regular season was when George Papa Bear Hallis left the sidelines to go fight in World War II.
Jeez.
As we all know, he didn't leave the organization. This is the first time in the 105-year history of the Chicago Bears that they dismissed a coach in the middle of the season. So you knew it had to be bad. And Matt Eberflus, I put out a video from my home office on Thanksgiving talking about I'm sitting there on Thanksgiving Day with Coop watching the time tick down 30 seconds, 25 seconds, 20 seconds, the Bears having a timeout in their pocket and a backup center and a rookie quarterback clearly trying to get a playoff and not getting that playoff. And it's obvious right around 15 seconds that the timeout's not only not being called, but has to be called at this point in time. And then one wasn't. And the game was over. And I thought to myself, well, listen, the Hail Mary attempt that shouldn't have happened because they allowed the Commanders to get into a better position for a Hail Mary attempt on a terrible defensive lapse, in my estimation. And the lack of accountability that was then suddenly a question in that organization because Tyreek Stevenson was stunting with fans rather than getting ready for a Hail Mary that he joined too late and then helped create. And whatever was going on with DJ Moore and whatever was going on with the offensive coordinator, that change appeared to work. All of the reasons why the Bears lost with a blocked field goal, even though Eberflus didn't have them in position. Closer, decided to let time tick down there as well, rather than attempting a play to get closer, and then they get one blocked, and all of those things weren't as crystal clear on Eberflus's lap as the way the Thanksgiving Day game ended. And to make it worse, his handling it in the press conference afterwards, saying that they handled it right.
Right.
Is
I couldn't believe it.
kind of beyond the pale.
How, in retrospect, how should you have handled the final sequence?
Yeah, I like what we did there. Again, once it's under 7, you're gonna call timeout there, or actually under 12, and then really you don't have an option. Because it's 3rd to 4th, you got to throw it into the end zone then. So to me, it's I think we handled it the right way. I do believe that you just re-rack the play, get it in bounce, and call timeout, and that's why we held it, and didn't work out the way we wanted it to.
I heard that, and I thought to myself, and I had already posted the video of how difficult it was to swallow. I heard that, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is the way a coach gets got. Because when a fan base is looking for blood and an ownership has already run out of its options of changes to make other than the coach, then they feel like they have to tell the fan base in a clearly circling the drain season, we hear you. And then, unbeknownst to me, we learned on Sunday when our boy Glaze went on Fox. Did you hear this? His scoopage was Eberflus attempted Friday morning to have the same approach with the team as he took on the podium there of like, this is just another thing we can learn from. Let's move forward. And Jalen Johnson apparently got up and in a profanity-laced moment interrupted the coach in the middle of the whole team.
Oof.
And that's when the front office knew it was over. After they let Eberflus talk to the media in a Zoom where he said he was confident he was going to coach the next game against the 49ers. And then they fired him. So what next? Kevin Warren, the team president, former Big Ten commissioner, talked up the position. Hit it.
This will be the most coveted job in the National Football League this year. And Ryan and I need to work hand in hand together to make sure we bring that to life not only from a head coach standpoint, but also from an entire staff standpoint. And people will ask, what are we looking for in a head coach? We need an individual who has extremely high standards, who is tough, who is demanding, who's bright, who has attention to detail, who seeks and will win championships, who creates an environment of accountability, who's creative, who's intelligent, who's a decisive decision maker, and who will represent the city of Chicago, all of our fans, this franchise in a manner that is well deserved.
I don't know how much that's going to calm the Bears fan base here. They did announce, Kevin Warren, that Ryan Poles stays the general manager. I mean, the groceries appear to be very well shopped. I mean, there's some players there.
Yep.
However, that is the tandem along with the ownership that did decide to keep Matt Eberflus and then hire Shane Waldron. And that started us to the point where we're at today. But Poles stated the obvious as to why Eberflus, with whom I do believe he had a terrific relationship. I saw it on display offline, had this to say about why the move wound up being made.
What did you believe you had saw during the hiring process of Coach Eberflus that you just didn't see consistently enough throughout his tenure?
Yeah, when you look at the end of the game situations, just some of the detailing to finish in those moments. We all know a lot of these games come down to those critical spots that we weren't able to get over the hump.
I think that's a very fair assessment, don't you think? That's fair.
Yeah.
It's very fair. Man, this league, I'll tell you what. Things go real fast. The 2022 coach hiring class.
Not for long, man.
Well, there were 10 guys hired. 10.
Yeah, that was a record, right? 10 was a record.
Mike McDaniel has been to the playoffs once. We'll see if he can make it again this year. Kevin O'Connell was hired. He's going to go again. 2 out of 3 years. And the other ones, guys, Todd Bowles looks like he's going to go back to the playoffs potentially, right? Won a playoff game last year.
Also rumored he may not make it.
Here are the other ones. Doug Peterson.
He gone.
Josh McDaniels.
Oof.
Matt Eberflus. Dennis Allen. Lovie Smith. Nathaniel Hackett. And one more. Brian Daboll. Coach of the year in his first year and made the playoffs. And now we're wondering, hey, we got to see something. Giants may have to see something from him. I know that I don't think they're firing him. But it's crazy right now. For the third straight year, we have 3 interim head coaches at the same time.
Jeez.
Third straight year. And Saleh wasn't even part of this class. It was the year before.
Now, with news that Ryan Poles is staying on as GM, does that kind of eliminate the Bears as a Belichick spot?
Oh, I don't think Belichick's going there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. He might know Poles. I have no idea.
It seems like you want to go to
No.
a spot with a quarterback in place.
I understand that. No, what they I told I'll
And
just
a good defense.
I will just repeat again what I said on Friday. It hasn't changed. When the Lions season is over, you should be standing there whenever he's ready for you to be standing there in front of him
With a boombox.
with a boombox outside of his window or a check from the McCaskey family and tell Ben Johnson to write the number on that piece of paper and say, how much? And is our structure with the general manager and the team president to your liking? And if it's not, and you are the McCaskies and you like everything that's set up and you believe in the setup, then you find someone else. Is it Cliff Kingsbury? You do that, but it's definitely somebody that can come in and turn your clearly talented first overall pick quarterback into Mahomes gold. That's it. End of story. And then you find the defensive coordinator who can dial it up. That's it. That's the plan. You can have all that flowery language from Kevin Warren as you want. Ben Johnson, he's proven it. Boy, does he go deep in his bag. They have, and they win, and they know how to. He knows how to win in the division. I know they don't play their games outdoors, but come on. You want to beat the Lions? You want to beat the Packers? You want to beat the Vikings? Go get somebody who's doing most of that right now, except beating the Lions. He's going to take the Lions potentially to the Super Bowl. That's the answer. End of story. That's forget about Bill. Or if you want to go in another different direction, you want to bring the fire and brimstone back. You want to bring that red ass. You want to bring that tough guy who was a tough guy on in his playing days. Then bring Vrabel to Chicago.
That seems like it fits at Chicago.
Well, I mean, you want to have somebody standing on the other side of Dan Campbell to say, "I get you, I see you." Vrabel's that guy. Mm-hmm. You want to have a CEO guy come in? Personally, I'd want somebody with the headset on talking to Caleb. Yeah, that's who I'd want.
Right.
I don't see that as a fit for Belichick. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.